Alrighty everyone, welcome back to another video. I hope you all have an amazing day and I hope you all enjoyed this video. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Now today we're going to be working on some more ATC progress. We're going to be working on the engine. Now a quick update though, in between episodes I've tried again with this differential, right? We soaked both ends in oil for a week and still they're stuck. So I don't have the cash at the very moment, but at the start of the month, at the start of August, I'll go to the Canadian Tire, I'll get a nut splitter, and then we'll just buy a couple new nuts, right? Whatever. Now, I've also been able to go ahead and organize most of what we've got and basically figured out what we're missing. And there is still, 5 or 6 things that we're missing, so hopefully we can get those. I think the guy in Gatineau that I was already buying some parts off of will have the extra little couple things. And then on top of that, I was able to get our new brake handles here. And they look absolutely amazing. And we also got another seat cover so that the secondary seat will be just as good as this one. And then I also got our wiring harnesses here. We've got 2 here. We've still got one on this trike over here. And basically, the goal with the 3 harnesses, I took them out yesterday and was looking at them, realized that not one of them is perfect. And so I can't just look at one and replicate that over to the others. So I'm going to have to buy at least one, I think, to help me get these done. The previous owner, there's extra wiring, there's all sorts of random shit. It's a bit over the top, like I can make a whole new harness, but I don't want to, right? They're good condition. They just have a couple little things that have to either be taken out or redone. It's very simple, but it's just, I'm not exactly sure how the original was, so I can't do that. Hopefully I can get one original and then replicate that over to these 3 harnesses and be good to go and have an extra couple. Maybe the guy I'm buying the parts off of will let me borrow one so I can just, just borrow it and give it back when I'm done with it. We'll see what happens. Now, for today, we're going to be working on the engine here. We've already got it set for timing from my understanding. We set timing and then I couldn't get the chain back on, so we took it to the mechanic and the mechanic had to reset timing because as he was trying to do it, he accidentally had the flywheel come out. And so then he had to put the flywheel back in and then he messed up the timing. And so then he redid the timing, redid everything, right? And so basically we've got good timing here. We just got to make sure that we get top dead center so that we can then, once we have our top dead center for timing here, we can adjust our valves and our ignition coil here, our trigger coil. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Hopefully you all enjoy. We'll set you all up for a little time lapse, get this opened up, and start adjusting some stuff. We'll be right back, everyone.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
Okay, everyone, so we've been able to get this engine back together. Everything is set up, right? We got the valve timing done. Well, valve adjustment done, sorry. And we've also made sure that we put a screwdriver in there and made sure that everything was good and it's top dead center. Just, you know, see what's up and see the difference. Learn a bit more about how that actually moves the piston. And then we've also readjusted the trigger coil here because I did that when it wasn't set to the right timing. So now that it's the right timing, the trigger coil is set to top dead center with that, just like it's supposed to be. And everything is closed up, ready to go. Now, still, when I go between high-low reverse, it doesn't click into reverse here. I only have low gear for now. I'm assuming once I get it running, it'll change because I just rebuilt this. I took all the parts out of this other transmission here. And it should work. Everything is, I put everything in how it's supposed to go, right? It should work. So I don't know why it's not switching between them. Maybe someone knows and you can leave it down in the comments. Teach me a little something. Other than that, we're ready. The engine is ready. I also checked for the timing chain tightness, and that's good. I like the tightness. It's got just the if I press on it, you can move it, but just a bit. It's to where like I feel like that's good. Like it won't jump off, but at the same time, not too much tension to cause any binding, right? And we got compression. We got some good compression out of that. And we got a compression lever here. And the compression lever does work. I just don't know. Yeah, there's a lot of compression. I don't know. It flips the valve inside, so I know it's working, but I don't know how much you're gonna have to pull on it to on the Yamaha. Once you do this enough, it sticks up. So I'm not sure with this. Maybe it's a bit different. Maybe I really don't know. It moves the stuff inside, so yeah, I'm good. I think we've got everything covered. It's a bit overwhelming, but I'm very happy. We got everything covered. Everything should be good and ready to go. Hopefully once we get it in the trike, right, everything will work. I'm assuming it's not in neutral right now, and because of that, it's stuck in low gear, right? Like in first or second of low gear kind of thing, rather than being in neutral and going between them. I don't know if that's a problem. I don't know, right? I have no idea. But this is the engine that the previous owner was putting a brand new piston into it and then quit. And so why would they be putting a brand new piston into an engine that doesn't have a working transmission, right? Like I would assume everything's good if they're trying to rebuild it, but they broke a stud, right? They broke this cylinder jug stud was broken off into the base, and so we had to have that drilled out by a professional, and they got the original bolt to fit, or maybe not an original, but this is what I had, right? And I'm pretty sure I got that out of the spare engine here is where I got it out of, and it held that engine together, so it should work, right? So we got it here, it should work here. I'm assuming that's why they quit, and so we got a good engine. It's just we had to do the drilling and rebuild it. It's taken a bit of time to learn how to rebuild it, but we got her done, right? And I'm very happy with that. The first full engine is done and ready to go. Now, for the second engine, we will have to do a valve. We have to do the timing. Well, check the timing, right? Might not have to adjust it, but we'll make sure, right? We'll make sure it's all good. If it needs to be adjusted, I know how to adjust the timing, so we'll be doing that. And then the valves and blah, blah, blah. But we're not going to take that engine out until this engine is going into the first frame, because it's only going to take me a little bit of time to get that done. And I want to make sure that we keep track of exactly which bolts go where for holding this engine in, so that we can, as we take the bolt out of here, we'll bring it over here and we'll find our replica bolt, right? And then we can get all our proper bolts for proper placement and get them all into place and get the good engine into the good frame, into the good trike, and we'll see what's up, right? Now, I call that the good engine because it has a new piston, right? At the end of the day, they're both good engines. They both turn over, they both shift gears, they both, you know what I mean? Like that, they should both be fully working engines. Just one has a new piston, so it's slightly better. And it has new seals, right? I got new a trigger coil gasket, new sprock camshaft openings gasket, new gasket for the head, and well, I don't know if there's a gasket for the head. I can't remember exactly, but the cylinder and head, the cylinder and top end or whatever you call it, there's a gasket here, and there's one here, two. Wait, yeah, one there. So there's one at the bottom here. I'll show you that. All right, we got a new gasket down here, and then we got the new gasket here, and then we got the new gasket here. We got a new gasket here. Basically all the small gaskets around this side of the engine, right? The 2 year, all of this has been new gaskets, right? So this should work very well. And I'm not planning on doing anything to this other engine as long as it's not needed, right? We're not going to replace stuff that's just not needing to be replaced. Doesn't make much sense to me. We also have a spare thingy here. The Pulsar coil gasket. Now, this doesn't have 2 screws here. This has 2 screw bolts here. The one in there does not. And then we also have this. I don't know where these things go. I really don't know. It seems to be the right thing. If it's the same size, but for some reason it has an extra couple bolts here. And I don't see anything on the engine that's like that. So I don't know where that could go other than right here. And it's just some models have an extra couple screws or something maybe. I don't know. But it doesn't really matter, right? If I need another gasket kit, I'll get a whole nother full gasket kit for that engine. I don't mind doing it, right? We're going to do whatever's needed to make sure the engine is good, right? So we might get a full new kit, but normally it's just the head and the cylinder, and we have our 2 different ones right here. So, well, actually they might actually be the same exact fucking one of them. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, this is the old, so we have the old head gasket here, and so we put in the new one. We have another one here. Maybe this is, I can't remember exactly. Oh man, I can't remember exactly which one is which, but I'm trying to learn, right? I'm trying to keep track of this kind of stuff and try and get better at it. Hopefully this all works well. Now we also have to get the new seat cover done, so stay tuned. We'll get set up, we'll set y'all up for a time lapse, and we'll get this new seat cover done. Now it's not like the seat cover on here is horrible, except for this, right? Like this little crack here, that's actually new. I don't know when that happened. I wasn't there originally. This too, I guess I've beat it up a little bit as it was sitting around because I knew I was replacing it. There is a little gash into the foam, but I'm not too worried about that. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take one of these cloths here and we're gonna fold it up and fill in the little tiny bit of foam here with the cloth. It's not perfect, right? But 90% of the foam is there. I'm not going to replace the foam. Now, you could say the same thing about the damn seat cover, but, we want it to look like that, right? So there's quite a big difference between the two. And so we're going to be doing a new seat cover. Stay tuned, everyone. We'll be right back. Well, hopefully you're all enjoying so far. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Be right back, everyone.
Trust, yeah. No, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
All right, everyone, check this out. So we've been able to get the seat cover on, looking absolutely amazing. Now, I will say, not perfect. As you see there, this side is slightly higher. Didn't get it quite perfect, but very happy with how it's come out nonetheless. It's just, that was difficult. That was, the other one was a bit easier. I might be able to just take out a few staples and then redo this little area, but I'd rather not take out the staples and then put more holes in the fabric here, because then it's gonna want to tear, and I'm not sure. Maybe we can just kind of work it a little bit. And we can kind of pull it a little bit here. Yeah. See if we can. There you go. I would say like that. And so maybe if we just put a quick staple in like this, we might be able to level it out a little bit without having to take all sorts of staples out. There you go. There you go. Put a couple more staples in there to secure that. Ooh. Put one from this side too. Beautiful. Much better. We were able to pull it and get that lined up a little bit better there. Can't really see much there. Whoops. There you go. Looking a bit better. Beautiful. There we go. We got it all done. Well, everyone, I hope you all enjoyed this video. We were able to get the engine ready and did some research online. It seems like you need to be in neutral to go between high, low, and reverse. And so since we're not in neutral, it's not going to work. I do have the shift levers, but I'd really rather not get into that right now, and let's just continue hoping that it works, and we'll be done, right? We got that done, we got the seat done, and now we're closer to getting these two machines back together. I'm not exactly sure what we'll be doing for the next video. At this point, we gotta wait for the guy to buy the parts from, because at the start of the month, his grandmother died, and unfortunately, so he went on a 2-week vacation to go to the funeral and spend time with family, and which 100% makes sense, right? I'm not complaining in any way. It's just, obviously we can't go buy the parts if he's not there, right? So we're just gonna have to wait a little bit, and soon enough, right? It's already been almost 2 weeks, right? So it won't be much longer. By the time you're seeing this, I might have already By the time you're seeing this, I might have already gotten the parts and made more progress. This is actually going to come out at damn near the end of July. So I should have the parts by then, or, be close to getting the parts. Either way, I hope you all enjoyed this video. It's been a blast. Thank you all so much. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and a comment with your favorite part. Consider also subscribing for more content, and we'll be back in the next one. Peace out, everyone.